ancient, and I'm not just talking about the careers of some of the Eyeballers players. SAW coming back onto what is arguably first pick territory for them. They have picked into it quite a few times, and quite frankly, they're a pretty damn good team on it. After Vertigo, I'm a little bit worried. Tea time with Michael Yumikaze.
Yeah, definitely concerning stuff, but also Eyeballers are toyed with it in their first round rotations as well, so we've got to see what they have in store for us on the CT offering. SAW already barreling their way in towards this B bomb site and getting that plant down nice and quickly. Another 5-on-5 for the retake in these pistol rounds, but SAW have been so good at converting them in these past couple of maps. They're just trying to scramble out of cave, but they're already getting cut down.
Arrozdoce trying to move back in, and obviously to some extent, but a JW to fall initially inside the smoke. So much more damage coming onto flusha and Cypher. They just have no chance of being able to get to the bomb and defuse safely. flusha down to 3 and knows he needs to die at this point. Nothing that he can really offer to the round, or hell, even from saving. And indeed, death is an inevitable story from behind. We'll finish them off. And again, very smooth pistol round coming out from SAW, Arrozdoce, and Story, the ones to do most of the heavy lifting.
I don't think we've seen a single T-side pistol from SAW where Eyeballers have been stacked in the right place. They're always retaking the bomb site with about as many men as SAW have alive. You don't see anybody taking early fights. Just nothing. No offerings. And yeah, I mean, that pistol round looked like a breeze, as of many of the T-side pistols from SAW. So it's a trend that may come back to bite the Eyeballers, considering we're all the way through into our third map, and SAW have led in every map, pretty much. Only Eyeballers that came back on their T side of Inferno. Against these USPs, SAW shouldn't have too many dispatching of them. They still have Muterus on the SMG. They've got Galils as well that can try and protect the highest value weapon in Story's hands.
It's just a little bit sad in my head, Michael, because you know you're pointing out that Eyeballers just haven't had the stacks working for them, and even in the even in the first round, after the fifth round, the post-fifth round, it feels like they've always been stacks even then.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's bad luck. I don't know if there's like some voodoo juju on them, but you can't get a stack to save their lives.
Well, they keep most of the high-value weaponry. AK and the 3 Galils. And yeah, now Eyeballers will finally answer back, but it's not exactly a pristine buy. We've seen flusha not prioritize rifles throughout this series. It's been very shotgun-centered. From Inferno to then, I think he was on SMGs, on Vertigo as well. Comfortable being a suboptimal, as long as he has extra utility, but you see the initial plan from SAW is looking rather good already. Eyeballers no anchor player. Shine will finally get here, rotating in through Donut, and has players right behind him as well, so the fact that he's kept this into a 5-on-4 is actually very advantageous. Even if SAW get this bomb down, Eyeballers have resources to combat it, but Pepsor doesn't even allow them space to get that plant down, and they run straight through the smoke in Donut as well. So SAW get no comfort in that A site, in spite of the fact that there was no actual site player dedicated to that side of the map.
Literally no one is watching out for the CT push. They're just so much more concerned about a push coming down from Shine because of his initial contact that they completely neglect the possibility of Pepsor doing that. It's a little bit surprising, uncharacteristic, I would say, but regardless, great point to start getting involved again. Pepsor obviously did actually try to get aggressive a fair bit back in Vertigo as well early on in the rounds, but he didn't really find any success doing it. So if that can start to activate it a little bit more, if Pepsor is feeling comfortable, if flusha can maintain form, you know, maybe a little bit something extra coming out from the rest of the three, yeah, you're in for a game at the very least.
You wonder how much of a burden it will be, the fact they got just absolutely destroyed on Vertigo. I'm sure they knew what they were getting themselves into to a certain extent. But, you know, we looked at many of the maps in this series, and, you know, there's maybe one there for the Eyeballers that looks sort of amiss in the Vertigo pick, but for SAW, I mean, they basically got 3 maps that they play frequently. definitely had the edge when it came to the veto. Well, Eyeballers upset with that first one, but I wonder which kind of a story we'll get here on Ancient. Pretty decent onto Sapek, given the spam is via a deagle. Sapek's not connected on any of his bullets.
Even then, Eyeballers, without the most information in the world, just a little bit of noise, and they have been starting to inch back towards the B bomb site, like you said, but unfortunately now reinforcing down mid, and that gives them avenues to start flanking in, but it might be too late. There's already been trades on the side itself, and with smokes down, there's very little that you can do to prevent the bomb plant beyond just pushing through, and it's unlikely that they fall for that twice in a row. ErrowsDoce as well, late on the lurk, will be looking to activate very soon. Aware of it, but it will not matter. Awareness does not mean defense is guaranteed. In JW, however, they're completely unaware of his positioning, and he will come in from behind. Good for just the one, though. Everyone else is safely nestled away. Shine as well, forced out into the open. There's a smoke down on the bomb, and they need to start tapping it. Shine is the only one with the kit. He's looking to stick the defuse. JW as well is being lined up on, and they will stop it from happening. ErrowsDoce's flank coming in all the way back from the T-spawn will be able to activate.
It actually looked like ErrowsDoce was going to get there a little too late. You saw them really rushing to get out of cave to stop them from that defuse. That smoke was imperfect, but really good heads-up play there from JW, losing his teammate in flusha that also committed to a flank. But because he had died, and because there was no additional firing coming in from ErrowsDoce on that mid-lurk, knew that he was sort of unsuspected. That was a way back in for the Eyeballers, but so timing does favor them. Nice urgency from ErrowsDoce. Realizing the part he had to still play. Move here from the Eyeballers, but ErrowsDoce will not miss opportunities like that. Such a hard angle to fight. flusha still fighting as well with the Mag 7. ErrowsDoce was expecting him to simply peel and run.
By the time flusha gets back close to the bomb site, it's already been occupied, and you have to realize that. A smoke down to try and at least put some chaos into things, but in the chaos, he's losing teammates. Sapek traded out, and advantage is lost even then. flusha is fighting through the M4 recovered earlier on, back to a 2-on-2. Bomb yet to be revealed, remember, so it could have started to siphon its way back to the B bomb site. They've realized it, but unfortunately, SAW still committed to A.
Yeah, they've really been down on the idea that they would reset after everybody had revealed their position over towards this A side. They were in such an awkward spot here, SAW, because they had no A main control, and they had to worry about CT and Temple alike, but yeah, the Eyeballers have committed the wrong direction, and they realize their mistake now that the bomb's gone down, and this bomb site's empty.
Is fantastic. Knows that Pepsor is nearby, but Pepsor just overruns him, and now suddenly the game is back on. They've got a smoke. They don't have a kit. They need to be on the defuse as fast as humanly possible, and even that might not be enough, and indeed, it's not going to be. Flashback forward, ErrowsDoce going for the peek, going for the spam, can't connect it, barely gets a bullet in the end, and Eyeballers are going to be off the defuse once again. flusha just so sure of his demise that he chooses to try and fight instead.
Oh man, the observer had me going there for a second. I was like, he's off the defuse at just as soon as we lose the X-ray, and it was practically impossible to see where flusha got off to. But yeah, you're right. He heard that Glock spamming, and he thought for sure he was a dead man walking. Wanted to kill his direction instead. God, that feels eerily similar to a Vertigo round we had. Sapek was spinning for the defuse. flusha knew he had nowhere to move, though.
Wow.
Yeah, well, they've rehearsed.
I think Eyeballers are gonna have a rough time bringing themselves into this game. Safe to say.
Till Sapek just like not move as well. Thought after the first few bullets, he'd give up, right?
What do you even do?
walls
The
aren't
only
safe.
round that eyeballers have gotten so far is where Pepsor pushes right through smoke to get a double kill spray down while the bomb is being planted and SAW is neglected an angle.
Without neglect, it does feel like there's little to really harp on about here for the eyeballers. Isn't JW just dead to the bomb here? Or no?
Potato. Both are dead and ready to be eaten. Is a potato really dead? Because if you plant it afterwards, it does actually grow out into something new.
Yeah, I don't know. Root vegetables are a weird one.
Yeah. I once saw a potato sprout out of another potato because it had been sitting in storage for too long. That was so strange. As a child, it was just weird. Like, not like a full potato, but like, you start to see a little bit coming out. Yeah. Just strange.
That's more potato than I signed up for.
Well, Zapek nicely done the double to start off, and he's even turned around for a little more contention. Pepsor in the meanwhile finds Ewjerkz, who's trying to cheat past the smoke. It's Roman, the only one to frag from SAW thus far. Eyeballers are setting up for a second round on the board.
Yeah, finally addressing some of the roots of the problem. Mid-control for SAW has been great in a few of these rounds. They've been able to break into the A-bomb site as a result of just taking so much territory in the early stages that eyeballers are constantly reacting. But a nice initiative move here from the Swedes. It's Apex, the one that really puts all the pieces together. JW as well might just put the final pieces of the puzzle for the eyeballers for completion. The second round is looking like it's a done deal. But Roman will still try his hand at it. Has reserve cash. There's a buy for SAW in the following round. Be in his best interest to make this as expensive as possible.
Damage is going to be very important regardless, so.
Yeah, there are two tracks of mind you can have here. You know, you have a buy guaranteed, but then also at the same time he is saving more value than he is going to gain from the loss bonus. So don't hate either option really, but the eyeballers will certainly be wiping small beads of sweat off their brow because they know keeping 3 alive is important for them to sustain any sort of a defense in coming rounds. If they are able to win, say, back-to-back here, SOUL's money wouldn't be in a great place to contest, but they also might be tempted to go for a half buy or a force buy even. And if the eyeballers would lose that, then suddenly they're in really troubling territory because they're losing their loss bonus as well as having taken casualties in prior rounds. Not saying it will happen, but it could.
Yeah.
And that's the concern.
Another concerning point is the fact that Shine and JW are once again a little bit out of the game. And look, I know the eyeballers just want to round on the back of Sampek's fantastic play. I'm hoping that we can see something similar from Shine and JW soon as well.
I barely noticed that between them they've got 1 kill, so
yeah, and 12 deaths. Not great. Flusha is going to stick to the swag over on the A-bomb site. Honestly, I think Ancient is particularly bad for the Max 7 anywhere except for maybe Donut and Cave. But he's going to try and make it work. Let's see whether it can actually get anything done. There aren't any flashes left, so that does actually make it much more powerful. But they made so much noise moving in. Strafing out to the far right side as well makes it almost impossible to get a one-shot with a Max 7. And they've lost everyone, but trades are theirs. Pepsor and JW both activating a kill apiece, and SAW are completely halted. Remember, no utility, so they have to rely on aim, and they've got plenty of that as well. Pepsor accelerate through, but Story's on the other side, and his HP just simply wasn't enough to try and contest in the round. Eyeballers still locked to 2.
yeah, the struggles continue, and I definitely feel kind of the same way about having a shotgun there. You saw flusha with so much responsibility, so many different angles he had to fight on, and he basically had to play close, otherwise his weapon is effectively useless. His teammates couldn't get there in time to support him. By the time I think JW got round towards CT, it was already smoked off by SAW on the execute. You see Eyeballers down to a half buy. Using weapons is suboptimal, and they're certainly going to feel the effects of it in this round. Kind of a dangerous move here from Uterus. JW went into the smoke to try and snatch him off, but they kept exchanging places. When Uterus went into red, JW went in the smoke, and vice versa. There was more players than just Uterus, though. That was very strange. Yeah, it's like when it's exactly like Scooby-Doo. Through one door, out the other.
Yeah. Shine just come through. The quick kill for himself. Unfortunately, won't really matter too much, but at least he inaugurates the scoreboard. That's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, it took me a while before I realized that Scooby-Doo and Popeye are the same TV program, but with less characters. Scooby Snacks, like, powered them up.
They didn't power them up, they just liked eating them.
I mean, yeah, but they had some, like, next level plot armor.
But
They had next level plot armor.
Yeah, you didn't expect, like, the criminals to come and, like, kill the teenagers. Right?
Nope.
Like, it's not, it's a kid's show, not Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
God, imagine this one day season. Dead dog and Scooby-Doo. No, man. Roman, come through. Pepsor is gone, and he is traded out very soon afterwards. Sapek keeps himself involved and alive. Shine as well, getting off a little bit early on and keeping his life. Most importantly, Story is not in a position to trade, and Sapek is not going to be quite expected because the Molotov didn't spread over to him. Still, Story no scopes, goes for another one. Quick scope on to Shine, and everything that was looking nice and peachy is suddenly getting a little bit spoiled.
Story's had his Scooby Snacks. I mean, a fantastic double. And now you just have to rely on flusha once again in these clutch situations. And sure, he is a man that can certainly pull these back. But SAW have been so damn good at clearing things out. They've even pushed deep CT and realized that flusha's not coming in from that direction. Bomb's not in a great place to contest aside from that short position. But that's where Muterus can act as the first prong. Nade will land at his feet and will show exactly where flusha is coming from, but he knows he's limited on time and has to stick it at some point or another. Smoke down. Muterus will take the fight, and so now Story's left in a worse position, but there's no time left. Story will even put flusha into the grave, but the bomb will take him down as well. It doesn't matter. SAW already winning out this half. 8 rounds on this T side. Eyeballers are left wanting.
And every single time it seems like they've actually found a way back into it. It's just not there. I don't know what you do. Because
they
unfortunately,
had the man advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, the solutions are being found, right? And we saw this on Vertigo as well. Good adjustments. Nothing comes off. It's better. It's a better look than Vertigo. They're at least still getting a couple of kills here and there, but nothing is found from the adjustments.
Once again, flusha will see the shortcomings of his shotgun attack, but only for 14 damage. Arrozdoce is about as healthy as could be. It's just that Shine has at least taken his place over at A main and could find a flank in through middle. So while SAW are moving in towards this B bomb site, there could be a sitting duck in Arrozdoce waiting to be found. Roman leading the way in. Pepsor 1 kill, but there's an immediate trade back from Sapek. But Shine was found on his flank as well. So could have been a silver lining way back into this round, but now Sapek's even been spotted recovering the rifle. They're trapped in, and all their rotates are completely siphoned. I mean, that's just not fair. You got spammed.
Dude, again, it's like they're doing the right thing. They have a stack of 3 players at the B bomb site that's getting ready for the peaks to start coming in, right? And you've got a flank coming in from behind that can use the timing. They try and make the flank be a little bit more relevant by getting a kill from an early peak on B and also getting some information. But the early peak just dies. Pepstar just doesn't find anything there. And it all falls apart.
Yeah.
There and then.
And Shine hesitated as well on his flank. You know, he didn't round the elbow corner to quickly capitalize. And by the time he did finally make his move, that sword started to account for it. Or just being meticulous. And if you're going to catch them off guard, you best make use of the small gaps you have. But how are Eyeballs doing? They're trying to play to a pace that feels comfortable to them while making all these adjustments. And yeah, sure they're finding some kills, but like you said, it's just not actually ending up in anything fruitful for these Swedes. You might see their ESL Challenger League come to a close on this third map, which would be quite a fashion as well. SAW were dominant on Vertigo. They're showing more domination here on Ancient as well. See if flusha and the boys can bring it back. At least one kill on this execute. Clawed back here on the defense, and they are heavily reinforcing this area of the map. There are no lurkers here for SAW to re-navigate to the other side, but Eyeballers, after they see no more presence, they will be suspicious.
They have been so worried about the rotates back to B consistently when SAW have shown that they've been largely a single track kind of team in Ancient. They've been going where they start off with. And unfortunately, Eyeballers are once again falling to their own double guessing. They've rotated away. flusha's good for a second. Still not found from behind the smoke. It's .'ArrozdoceE to finally activate from the flank. So there wasn't one, but coming through middle. Sort of now. Story found out as well in the meanwhile. Shine on the retake. Now, they do have a kit on Shine, so he has to try and keep himself alive. He's very separated from the rest of his teammates, and there's no utility left of a hair for SAW either. Both players' position is known. They are closing the distance. The grenades will find nothing, and the defuse is coming through. Shine can just sit on this one, and then finally, the defuse stick actually materializes. It feels like I've seen far too many rounds from Eyeballers where they could have had it, and unfortunately, they just move away.
Yeah, they've come so close on some of these diffuses. It does finally come through, and that's because SAW planted in a very safe position, one in which Story was supposed to capitalize from his spot, but he gave up Temple. He let his players sort of cross towards Donut, and you know, his responsibilities were bigger picture than just simply allowing his teammates safe passage. Not without their flaws, SAW. They've been playing with fewer mistakes. Lovely opener.
JW finally gets a chance to actually take a proper duel with the AWP, and he is just dead. I think he even actually got a shot off. I might have heard that one wrong, but yeah. I think he did.
But Story peaked perfectly on the flash timing.
Yeah. Getting a little bit feisty right there. So they're actually find the Sayback coming in from what a beautiful little set of frags. It's so reminiscent of what we saw from Pepsor as well with the M4A4 pushing through the smoke. Now just coming in through Cheetah. Gets a double. .'ArrozdoceE, however, has still somehow managed to equalize. And despite every single advantage that Eyeballers can try and find on an individual level, it's still even Steven.
This head-to-head, this one fight will determine the round. Bomb on .'ArrozdoceE's back, and Pepsor is really concerned about a number of different avenues. Muterus is trying to make some presence, some noise over towards A, but Shine was without the audibles outside of earshot. Pepsor is leant over towards an A play, even in spite of that.
I think Shine heard like a footstep from Muterus towards the very end, actually.
Yeah, maybe. Why else would you be so convinced?
Yeah. Because you can hear from inside Donut. It's a little bit complicated, but you can. 8 seconds. Bomb's going to be planted. The one-time Eyeballers is not going to rotate over to the B-bomb side. That's the one-time SAW is actually already there, and they've got it down. Now, kits available for both players, and Incendiary as well as Shine coming in from behind. But Shine's going to be caught out and spotted out as well. Muterus, all he has to do is make sure that there's nothing else going on. Whoa. What's this? Pepsor walks right into his death, and .'ArrozdoceE is gone and found the third as well. 10 on the board now for SAW.
Man, to think that they have this advantage again. A 3-on-2 after Sapek found these 2 kills into cave. thought for, I mean, actually, yeah, 3-on-3 that made it into a 3-on-2 very quickly. But for them not to be able to retain that advantage for even a moment, again, it feels like eyeballers are just picking the wrong sides of the map. Whether it's been the stack calls on these pistol rounds, whether it's been these low buys, or whether it's been in these late round moments, they have misread SAW. They've been punished every single time. Been one round where eyeballs have been able to claw it back on the retake in spite of resetting their defenses. But now SAW move into what is a vacant A play. Started 4B with this half buy. So now it's a full 5-on-5. And they've only got pistols to try and counteract.
Their stacks just never work. How do you even blame them?
It's mad.
Like, did you get like a reverse damage foot, like a 24 leaf lower or something?
50% of the time, it works every time. But 50% of the time, it also misses
Never
every
works.
time. Yeah, it's been something to wrap our heads around, to be honest, because yeah, it is crazy to think how many times you have a 50-50 of should we play more A focused or more B focused, and they've just gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
So are in their comms.
Feels like Mutas might be IGLing for both teams right now.
Sapek had a little heroic, a little bit of flair to him. A couple of rounds passed. Now last round of the half. Need more like it. Shine flashed up. Double at that. He's just completely overrun. But no, they don't clear for him. Roman and EWjerkz so focused on Pepsor's position. And they start off with a 5-on-3. Just now made to a 4-on-2. Surely, there's no way they let this one fall through their fingertips.
That's at least what you hope. So Eyeballer is also just keeping them things nicely locked down. Flusha's position is also impeccable. He's largely been their big performer across the series, so can't probably rely on him unlocking that out. Arrozdoce moving in. He's been fantastic, but this is not a shot that he's got a chance of hitting. 1-on-4 Story might be about to take a knee over here. Seems like a matter of time with his position given up now as well. They definitely heard that Thick of Flames actually tagging him down, and that's where Pepsor can get aggressive. Story will find one. JW, though, gets revenge from earlier. 4-11. Eyeballers are at least able to make this slightly prettier than Vertigo, but I can't say it's been a great sight overall. We're off to a break. We're back. We'll have to see whether they can bring it back. Look, the flames haven't died out. We still have some embers from eyeballers, but SO's been looking damn good so far. 11-4 on Vertigo. They look dominant, and right now Ancient's not too far removed.
Yeah, it's been surprisingly one-sided after a very strong effort to come back into Inferno. Eyeballers have not looked like the same big threat. See if this T-side pistol can offer us something at the very least, though. Getting a lot of control for minimal contact, but SAW are ready for this.
Dooley is coming through with 3. Muterus is just the man of the hour. He's IGLing for both teams, and he's killing for both teams as well.
What did he have for breakfast? Muterus has been exceptional this whole series, and he's now got a 4th kill as well. JW none the wiser and continue aggressing, and these dualies ain't just stopping there. Muterus has another chance to finish off the ace, but it's Story that takes it away from him. 4 kills from, like you said, our in-game leader, but also one of our consistent fraggers for SAW.
Dude, Muterus has eyeballs for breakfast.
That is terrifying.
Honestly, that is pretty scary when you think about it.
That's one of those fever dream, weird cartoon things I'd expect to see.
Instead of like a fried sunny side up, this got a pupil side up. Yeah.
I was thinking cereal more like.
Oh, okay, that too, I guess. Bit big for cereal, but yeah, maybe like really small ones. Roman though is the big man, and right now I want the big money. Almost.
Yeah, almost. EWjerkz finally finishes off business though. It's so good to see Muterus in this kind of a form as well, because I think at one point or another we were definitely comparing him, or at least I would have compared him to the likes of like a Tabson. You know, especially when it comes to Vertigo, I feel like they play very similar, you know, inserting themselves in the middle of the map, always there to sort of like bounce between bomb sites to help support whoever he needs to. And always felt like, you know, he could still play to a relatively high degree. So
yeah,
got all that experience, and he's got the fragging to back it up as well. Bowlers, they need this round. Otherwise, it will be a quick shutter on the ruins of Ancient.
I really like the angle that Muterus has taken. It's a very, very annoying off angle from either side. Muterus just keeps the spam going. So much damage found in the Sandvik as well. And yeah, the aggression continues. Oh.
Jesus.
I don't know if you can wall bang that.
I think you can. It's not exactly killing kind of damage, but Shine doesn't exactly have full HP, so it could have been devastating. But flusha at least brings it back to a 4-on-4. They're taking a lot of damage in these fights, though.
Yeah, no, this is just eyeballers taking duels and unfortunately losing them. SAW is just aggressively peeking into them time and time again. And eyeballers are in position, right? Like, it's not like they're being caught with utility out again, but they're just not winning. Bomb will be planted at the very least at 2-on-3, which is going to be one of their best shots of trying to bring things back in. If you lose this one out, well, SO's a bit too close to the finish line at that point, and they're collecting. Remember, Roman is the only one with the kit. The Molotov down in. They do force out the first duel. Pepsor has to be very careful to go for the spray down onto both, and Roman will prevent that from happening in any capacity whatsoever.
I mean, excellent patience there from SAW.'Arrozdoce was still holding on to that A bomb site, and when they realized that bomb was going down B, they just made sure that the planter could not escape the pillar. He had nowhere to go. Covered from long, covered from short, they even doubled up together and left these small gaps where he could have escaped. But if you're in that position on the eyeballers, how are you going to know that your spot isn't being covered for 1-2 seconds even? So they waited for Arrozdoce, who had a Molotov, and so they always had this one frag basically guaranteed. Courtesy of the bomb plant and the loss bonus, eyeballers do still have another buy back in, but I felt like the best chance to start the engine here in the second half. First back can say a lot. And right now, all SAW are concerned about is saying goodbye to their opponents.
SO's been having such a good time. It feels like, you know what? Maybe just drop a DM and be like, can we make this a BL5 instead?
They will give no sympathy.
JW finding a very important opener. Muterus goes down without actually getting much information out at all. The Soul will be forced to go for more aggression. Roman, however, the man to deliver it, and he delivers death right alongside. Dodging out on all of the bullets from the spam as well. So is looking to get a nice little chokehold down middle, potentially, but it is the smoke being phased that could be a problem. EWjerkz moves away from it. However, Roman is leading the aggression forward. JW caught out completely, and it is just aggression on aggression on aggression, and all of it is coming up eyeball. There is death.
Yeah, Story heard flusha running as well. He was left on a late lurk through A. Oh man, JW fell asleep at the wheel. Roman none the wiser that he'd be so close, but a whiff from one of the players that, you know, definitely coming into this series I was expecting more out of. JW can really be a propellant at times for the eyeballers, especially in the series that are quite tough. But I mean, we've seen difficulties for the AWP to get engaged, and the rifle work is pulled into question. Nice. Need 11 straight now from here, and it doesn't seem like the eyeballers have that much left in the tank. Pepsor straight through the smoke. Does find Muterus off guard, but not able to do too much damage. Muterus still standing his ground, and he's here alone. Has .arrozdoce miles off in towards Red Room, but he's already been sectioned off. Still, his damage felt. Eyeballers sure they have middle, but they're down an extra man.
EWjerkz plays that perfectly. He dodges out the flashbangs while still keeping an eye out on them as well. And now .arrozdoce has been set up for the alley-oop, but he dunks it right down. 16-4, the projection seems to be coming true. flusha, the only one who can potentially try and put up a defense. Potential, however, unlikely to be realized with the map state, with his HP, and with the number of players he has to face down. SAW will move forward and face off against one win next in their lower bracket, while eyeballers are going to be left sightless in the ESL Challenge, at least season 45 European Division.
Yeah, this was already our second life being offered up to either of these teams, and sure the